What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus Ally gameplay for you guys today, and today we're gonna give that Persona 3 Reload a try. Now, the game actually surprised me on the Steam Deck. I was getting like horrible frames no matter what, and I was like, what the hell? I mean, the game is new and all, but it's not like super hardcore. It should be able to play at 60 FPS on the Steam Deck. It's not like I'm asking for that much, but no, I was dropping even when I thought I had some like maybe good 30 FPS settings, it would drop down to 15 a little bit later. So glad I tested that. So again, I fiddled around with stuff and then I noticed reflections toggle. So I was like, there's no way simple reflections can do all that, but hey, let's try it. Well, I turned off reflections and lo and behold, bam, now we're getting 60 basically everywhere. So I'll take that. I don't need no reflections in a game like this anyway. It's hard to even portray reflections in a cel-shaded game such as this in the first place. It's not the same as like cyberpunk reflections or ray-traced reflections, you know? So I'm totally okay with just shutting that the hell off if I can get good FPS. And I think almost everybody will agree with me. So I'm hoping that this guy can do the same thing. So I'm gonna try to just go in there at 1080p, just put everything to high and turn reflections off. Oh, hell, I might try just turning everything on at first just to see if it's maybe a Steam Deck problem or like a Linux problem, something like that. And then if it still does the same nonsense, then I'll turn the reflections off and say, hey, we'll just do the same thing we did on the Steam Deck. And boom, it'll probably work. But anyway, let's stop blabbing. Let's hop on into the game and see what's what.
Right, so here's the settings we're gonna go with. Now, I just left the reflections off, and because it ran like crap on the Steam Deck, and then I left the frame rate at 60 because if I put it up to 120, it drops the frame rate to 30. Probably because it can't hit a constant 120 or something, but I don't have VSync on, so I don't know why it's doing that, so that's why it's just at 60, if anyone was wondering. But anyway, to the game. Alright, here we are, starting at the very beginning of the game, just like we did on the Steam Deck. Because this is the spot where, hey, it ran totally fine on the Steam Deck in this area, but then the second you went down here, it was like, bam, you're getting like 20 or 30 FPS. But nope, seems to hit 60 here. So that's good. Now, there are some spots where it does drop a little. Like down to 55 or whatever, like something like that. But very, very rarely. But you'll see what I mean. I think right here is one of the spots. Oh, 52, excuse me.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome indeed.
You're late. I've been waiting a long time.
Oh, nope, now you're not there anymore. Now you're over here.
There's no need to be scared. All it says is that you accept full responsibility.
Alright, and luckily I am in big picture mode now, so now I get a keyboard easier than having to do it on the Windows side, bring up the Windows keyboard and probably have this thing pop out of full screen or some nonsense like that. Most of the time it works fine though, but there's some instances it decides to do that on me and it gets a little annoying, but it is what it is. And I'm also sure you can see the little cursor pops up too there. But it is what it is, couldn't make it go away. I don't like when that makes appearances, but sometimes that also just happens. It's part of PC gaming.
Good.
All right.
Time is something no one. And so.
Okay, I thought he was going to snap again. If he snapped again, I was going to nickname him Sergeant Snaps, but I reserve that name for someone who's a little more snappy.
Wait!
Yes, they work.
I didn't think you'd arrive so late. My name...
Who's he?
He's a transfer student. He'll eventually be moved to a room in the boy...
Is it okay?
I guess we'll see. This is Yukari Takeba. She'll be a second year.
Call me Takeba.
So why do you have a gun?
Huh? Well, I mean...
You know how it is. It's not a real gun, of course. It's getting late. Your things should already...
Alright, let's go.
Here's your room. Pretty easy to remember, huh?
What's the contract for?
Huh? What are you talking? Can I... On your way here from the station?
Yes. Everything was great.
Oh, okay.
Completely normal. I saw nothing at all out of place.
I'm sure you still have... Good night.
And obviously, if we had VSync on, it would get rid of the little tearing. I probably should have turned it on, but I figured I'd be able to turn on the 120 mode. So I should have turned it back on once I realized I could only do 60, but it is what it is, so that won't be there as long as you turn that on. I generally don't like screen tearing. I mean, I can put up with it in a first-person shooter where I don't have any time to notice it, but I notice it in pretty much every other kind of game.
Good morning. Are you ready to go?
Yep, sure am.
This is how we'll be getting to school every day.
Alright, might as well just pause it.
Huh?
And not just
Honestly,
watch a
lots around
video. I
here.
don't know how long this
It
is going to
almost
be.
feels like we're-
So, alright. So this is the spot that was just terrible FPS on the Steam Deck. But again, that was with that screen reflections on. So I don't know if this one would have done it too, but I didn't even feel like messing with it. A game like this, I felt like you're not even really getting anything really out of reflections. It's a cel-shaded game. What's it gonna do? Make like his hair more shiny? You know? So I was like, screw it. And it seemed to be doing a pretty good job at staying at 60 with these settings, so I figured there's no point in doing 900p or 720p. There's not that many settings to this game anyway, so I could only really change the resolution. But in any case, why don't we now move on? Alright, let's get ourselves a little camera recorded gameplay now. I want to get at least one battle in.
Get away from me!
It's a very small battle, but it's still a battle.
Those shadows!
Alright, so we got a little drops during battles. And I tested even not connected to the capture computer, and it still drops things down to 30 if I try to put it on 128 FPS mode. So that's why it's on 60 instead of 120. But for the most part, it seems to be a pretty 60-ish FPS experience, even at 1080p on this thing.
Come on! Can you hear me? Oh, say something!
And then I forgot, I was going to put the language in Japanese. I usually play these in Japanese, not English, but it is what it is. I'm not going to change it at this point.
You lost consciousness after awakening to your
You've lost
power.
consciousness.
Ooh, that was the power of
Igor's cool, though.
persona is a facet of your person. You can think of it as a mask that protects you as you brave many. The power of a person, as you form these bonds by the strength of these social links, will foster the growth of your persona abilities. Please remember this. Now then, time marches on in your world.
Oh,
I
it
shouldn't
does.
keep you here any longer. Next time we meet, you will come here.
Good. I look forward to it.
Until then, farewell.
Ta-ta.
You're awake.
He is
How do
indeed.
you... Thank goodness you finally woke up. Oh, this is Tatsumi Memorial Hospital. It's just a short walk from the station. The doctor couldn't find anything wrong. He said you were just exhausted. Hey, I'm sorry I wasn't helpful at all back there. But wow, that power of yours was really something. You mean the shadows? They're what we're fighting against. And that
The
power of
shadows.
you- Don't worry, we'll explain everything later. I wanted to tell you something. I can kinda relate. To you, I mean. My dad died in an accident when I was little. And my mom and I aren't exactly on good terms. You're all alone too, aren't you? To be honest, I already heard about your past. But it didn't seem fair. This was a while ago. There was a big explosion in the area. Supposedly, my dad died in the blast, but nobody really knows what happened. At the time, he was working in a lab run by the Kirijo group, so I'm hoping if I stick around long enough, I'll find out more about it. That's why I'm going to Gekukan High. And why I was there when this happened to you. Not that I was much help. I kinda panicked. That was my first time facing them too. Sorry. You wouldn't have to go through all this if I weren't such a coward. Thanks. Sorry for telling you all this the minute you opened your eyes. While I was waiting, I thought to myself, I've been hiding so many things from him. As soon as he wakes up, I'll tell him the truth. So thanks for listening. I've been wanting to share that story with someone for a long time. Alright, I'm gonna get going. I'll let the others know you're okay. They said you could leave once you regain consciousness, so I think you're free to go home. See you!
Alright, and now it is apparently evening time.
Oh, welcome back! Hey!
Now, get up.
Jeez. Are you stupid or something? It's not like that.
That's sure what it would sound like to anyone, though.
Can we call it a day?
But in any case, why don't we go ahead and go wrap this video on up. Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Persona 3 Reload on the Asus Ally. And for the most part, it seems to be a 60 FPS experience. But there was one part during the fight where we dropped down to 47 for a split second, and then there's a couple spots where it drops down like 55, 56 for a second, and then goes back up to 60. But besides that, it seems to be totally fine. So that's why I didn't bother to go through all the different resolutions. Plus, there's not that many settings to go through other than just dropping the resolution. I mean, you can turn the shadows down a little bit, and then there was like, what, one other setting? And then there's, of course, the reflections, which I just left off the whole time, because it seemed to really mess with stuff here too. At least for me, but sometimes my Ally acts way different than other people. The last Persona game I played, I was dropping down to 30 FPS in certain spots that other people said they got 70. But then I can go play games like Starfield just fine, and I get the same kind of FPS other people do. So I don't know what's up its butt with the Persona 5, so maybe Persona 3 is the same way on it. Who knows? But thing just came out. Needs a couple minutes for some updates and whatnot. But it was more than playable, in my personal opinion. But in any case, that's all I got for you guys for this particular video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.